Detailed summary of my brother's great invention. The story is narrated by Anita, a 14-year-old girl who describes her younger brother Anand and his many failed inventions. Anand has an unrelenting passion for science and a strong desire to invent gadgets, although most of his creations never work as planned. His latest invention, a burglar alarm, causes quite a stir at home and sets the stage for the humorous events that follow. The burglar alarm incident. The story begins with a chaotic scene. Anita's father, means Papa, roars in anger, standing at the front door, drenched in water. He is upset because of a strange device that has shocked him. Anita, aware of her brother Anand is behind the invention, tries to explain that it was meant to be a burglar alarm. Papa is angry and wants to know who is responsible for this mess. Anand, as usual, has vanished, leaving Anita to face the consequences. Their mother, Ma, tries to calm things down, but Papa is furious and believes Anand rigged up the device. Anita, who knows Anand's tendency to create complicated gadgets, explains that it was meant to be a burglar alarm, but it obviously malfunctioned. Anita goes on to explain Anand's nature. He is obsessed with inventing things and often creates gadgets with no practical use. Recently, there has been a series of thefts in their neighborhood, and Anand had decided to invent a burglar alarm to protect their home. His invention involved a complex setup where the door was opened. When the door was opened, the alarm would ring and a water bag would fall on the thief's head. So, this was supposed to happen while they called the police. Anand, in his usual overconfidence, explains to Anita that the alarm would only be triggered if the door was opened gently, which he thought burglars would do to avoid making noise. Anita remains skeptical but reluctantly gets involved. However, the alarm malfunctions. The alarm goes off when their father, Papa, opens the door gently, causing him to get drenched. Papa is furious, and Anand, as usual, disappears to avoid the scolding. The event ends with Anand promising not to invent anything for a while. The time machine incident. Despite the disaster with the burglar alarm, Anand is soon inspired by the movie Back to the Future about a time machine. He decides that he must build one. This new idea excites him so much that he locks off his tool kit to prevent others from interfering with his work. Ma becomes increasingly worried of Anand's projects, especially after the burglar alarm incident, and keeps an eye on her appliances to ensure Anand doesn't take them apart for parts. For the next 2 weeks, Anand works frantically in his room, creating what he calls a time machine. The noise from his room, hammering, showing, and clattering, fills the house. Anand transforms his room into a chaotic workshop with wires, springs, levers, bulbs, and a large control panel. He works non stop, becoming so engrossed in his project that he forgets to comb his hair or care for his appearance. Anita is unimpressed and just wants to finish reading her novel, but she is reluctantly dragged into Anand's plans. After much effort, Anand announces that the time machine is ready for a test run. However, when he tries to present the machine to their parents, Papa refuses to allow it. He is not convinced and forbids Anand from trying it out. Ma, noticing Anand's crestfallen expression, suggests that they at least look at the machine. But Papa is firm in his decision. The machine is not tested that day. The night of the incident. When their parents leave for a wedding, Anand and Anita are left alone at home. Ma is concerned about leaving them unsupervised, but the children assure her they can take care of themselves. Anand promises not to use the time machine while their parents are away. That night, while Anita is reading, she hears strange noises at the front door. She initially dismisses it as her imagination, but then hears a rattle and a click. She becomes frightened and wakes Anand, who is groggy and doesn't take the situation seriously at first. When Anita insists that someone is trying to get in, Anand wakes up and becomes alert. To their horror, they find a man standing at the door, Boppa, the man who sweeps the compounds in their neighborhoods. He is holding a cudgel and threatens the children if they make any noise. The children panic and wonder what to do. Anand suggests they shout for help, but the man demands to know where Papa's room is. In the confusion, Anand mistakenly tells the intruder that Papa's room is next to theirs, which in fact is Anand's room. Anita realizes her mistake and scolds Anand for his careless words. They realize they have time to think of a plan as the intruder searches for the light switch. Suddenly, there is a loud crash and a strange eerie noise coming from Anand's room. The time machine has been activated. Anand exclaims in horror that the time machine is working. As the noise continues, the children shout for help, hoping someone will come to their rescue. But soon, their neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Sharma, and Dr. Mohan, arrive. They find the door to the children's room unlocked and open. The search for Boppa. The neighbors question Anand and Anita about the the events that have just transpired. Anand insists that the thief Boppa must have entered the time machine, which explains his sudden disappearance. They enter Anand's room cautiously and turn on the lights. To their surprise, they find no sign of Boppa, but the time machine is still humming softly. Everyone is puzzled and tries to make sense of what happened. Dr. Mohan, skeptical of Anand's story, suggests that the thief might have run out, but Anand is sure that no one could have left unnoticed. Anand points to the green scarf on the floor, which Boppa had been wearing. This leads them to believe that Boppa was indeed in the room at some point. However, no one can find him, and after a brief search, they conclude that Boppa must have fled the house. Anand remains convinced that his time machine worked and that Boppa had disappeared into the past. The story ends with Mr. Sharma dismissing Anand's claims, smiling indulgently at his imagination, and sending the children to bed. The next day, Bappa is never seen again. Anand remains firm in his belief that his invention worked and continues to dream of new projects, including one to contact creatures in outer space.